party also, I think, kind of came to the conclusion that retrieving whatever version of Witchblade went into the other universe is not really viable. The other thing that bunch of the party learned was, well, I guess two different people then. Current learned that Titania is going to call upon her to cross one of these spheres that divides worlds to serve some purpose. I do not think she learned what that purpose was, other than the fact that it will serve Titania and or her followers. Scaldrus learned that there's not a lot of wiggle room in the contract, and that going after Paracelsian is probably the best option for reclaiming his soul. Kildrak went on a jaunt across the elemental planes and learned mostly nothing. The elemental planes are focused on an emergence of elemental chaos and preparing for a foray in that direction instead of military conflict with each other.
Yeah. So we left off those, I believe Reditu, Mably, Witchblade, Endura, and Scaldrus were researching, first the devilish things and then Paracelsian. So was it toward the end of last session or no, it was previously you were told you could first look into Paracelsian by going to Mechanus, right? And yes. So if you want to follow the Mechanus Paracelsian thing, yeah, Mechanus seems like the next place to go. Current wants to go to the Fae because she met with somebody in Sigil to talk about phylacteries and learned a little bit, but also not a lot, and so she wants to actually talk to Titania, hopefully. And then Kildrak, you visited the plane of air and the plane of fire, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so on your little journey, you have the planes of earth and water remaining. All right.
Correct.
So, okay, we have an encounter. Awesome. If I do that. Begin combat. Okay, let's go ahead and have everybody roll initiative, and then we will continue with this current month of sort of downtime activities.
Discord is trying.
Who all is rolling?
Everybody.
Everyone.
Yep.
I thought you were talking about group.
I don't think the Shield Guardian can roll initiative.
Really?
Unless I just forget how.
I got it.
How the fuck?
It looked like you did it there.
I did it.
Would you want me to change the token name to the Carter Isaac Dunley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
How did you do that, dude?
And then...
I just double clicked on him and then rolled initiative.
Oh. Thanks.
Okay, so we have...
Because then it correlates your roll to the token. Because if you don't correlate it to the token, some reason it doesn't connect it for some reason.
In case anyone's keeping track, that is Kildrak's third crit in a row.
Jeez.
Gosh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and move the Shield Guardian to the party tab there. So that's maybe less confusing, maybe not.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, it looks like our initiative is set, and Mebley would start things off, but I believe Mebley is part of the large group with Scaldress and Witchblade as well. So, how would you guys set about traveling to the plane of law?
Not lollygagging.
That was really stretching it with that one. Oh man.
I believe that I would hold forth the Sword of the Plains as a viable option of travel.
Yeah, probably. I'm just kind of curious because normally you need like a tuning fork. What is the Sword of the Plains? Oh, you just choose a plane of existence. So it's not like casting plane shift. It kind of does its own thing. Wow.
This
So
one doesn't say anything about tuning forks, though.
yeah, yeah, it is functionally different from plane shift, which I thought it was like basically just casting plane shift, but not at all. It's its own thing.
Well, no, I mean, I'm reading plane shift. Am I tripping? I don't see anything about... You can specify... But you don't have to.
Specify. Oh yeah.
Are you saying for plane shift?
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of teleport.
The specification in plane
Oh.
shift is which tuning fork you use.
Yes, it is a component. It's not in the description of the spell, which is
Oh!
not at all yeah, it's
Okay.
not intuitive.
If
That's where the
case, we could check the Planeswalker Guild and ask to borrow a tuning fork to Mechanus.
well, you don't with the Sword of the Plains. I don't think you need the tuning fork. Is
Oh, or I can just be too cool for school.
It's out like
yeah.
140, so it's like a meet.
And go ahead. I believe Volcanics. Yeah, Volcanics told you guys about the Mechanist thing. Okay. So you guys know that you need to go to a particular library in a large city on Mechanist. That library and city is in the realm of Helm. So you want to go to Everwatch in Mechanus. And then Helm's Great Library will contain the information you're looking for. So then,
Okay.
yeah, reading the Sword of the Plains, you can, yeah, basically just go to Everwatch. Boom. So you guys are there, and Mebley, you are first to act. So, how would you like to try to get some information about Paracelsian? Their Helm's Library is. Let me put you guys on to make this page.
Can you put some music on as well?
I was just using the Foundry music, but I can.
Oh, wait, hang on. Let me do that too. I forgot I turned it off somehow.
Yeah. I think I'll just do the Foundry music, so I don't have to worry about Spotify.
Fun thing is, it's playing right now, and I can't hear it because of the setup currently. So,
With your stream, yeah.
sorry if it plays something random.
Also,
No, it's fine.
can't hear anything.
Cool.
I know, I can hear it.
Great.
Is your Foundry tab unmuted, Garrett?
Correct.
Yeah, if your tab is unmuted and your music settings are not set to 0 on Foundry, you should be good.
Oh, it might have. No? I don't understand.
I'll figure it out.
So, yes, on Mechanist, you guys find yourselves in a bustling travel district of Everwatch, where a lot of Modrons and some other higher ranking, a lot of Monodrones and some other higher ranking Modrons Helm keeps a watchful eye on much of the multiverse and is kind of known as a sort of guardian or gatekeeper. And
Does Skuldrus evaporate when he steps into Mechanism?
um, no,
Death.
that he does not. Chaotic may he be. So Mebly, you guys make your way to the Great Library that is watched over by many Modrons, and when you are researching Paracelsion here, you could do it as more of an investigative thing, or you could do it as more of a charisma thing, or even like another perhaps intelligence sort of thing, where you are trying to work with these Modrons to get the information.
Let me think. Um, you said charisma was an option?
Yeah, of charisma skills, I think persuasion probably makes the most sense to talk with some Modrons and get information from them. But if you're thinking of another skill, that might work as well.
Can we do that?
Did you say persuasion, or did you say something else?
History.
Oh yeah, history would
Would
definitely
that
work.
make sense?
Yeah. Just going through the
Nice.
motions of performing research in the library there. So with that skill check, you first find mention of Paracelsion in a book of alchemy. This book posits, as well as what some other scholars say, that alchemy is the root of all sciences. It is an ancient discipline founded by the infamous Velinor. And alchemy seeks dominion over reality and typically employs transmutation as its foremost tool. You read in this book about one particular mortal alchemist named Theophrastus. He was born the son of an herbalist father and an alchemist mother. And from them he learned the basics of alchemy, the few principles that survived the censure of Velinor's work after Velinor betrayed a pantheon of gods and was exiled, and his craft was deemed heresy. Theophrastus was very ambitious and entirely unsatisfied by the prospect of running a decent elixir shop, where he could maybe one day have multiple locations at a couple mid-sized towns and cities. Theophrastus felt the call of ancient knowledge and took up the life of a traveling alchemist and dabbled in wizardry. He conducted deep research in each library, shrine, and repository he visited, painstakingly reconstructing an impossibly large webwork of erased knowledge. And that is most of what you learn about Theophrastus in that book. But towards the end of the entry, it mentions that Theophrastus eventually ascended into immortality and took upon himself the name Paracelsion as he achieved his immortal state.
And have we heard that name before? Paracelsia?
Paracelsion is the purportedly evil alchemist that you guys are supposed to eliminate if you wish to fulfill Zarek's contract.
Okay, gotcha. So this dude was a shitty salesperson or business owner.
Yeah.
Interesting to know. And do I get that insight from the literature or just from exploring the shrines or
That is
deep depths of the
from,
library?
yeah, exploring and finding this one book in the library that sort of leads you on the right path to discovering Paracelsion. But so far, you've just found that one mention of his name and a bit of his mortal history.
Gotcha. Is there
Theophrastus.
Theophrastus?
Theophrastus and his legacy? And does that name? I assume that name. You're familiar with that name, Theophrastus.
Yes. Theophrastus would appear in some of our more alchemical literature. The name Theophrastus means the first magi. He, not being the first alchemist per se, but Theophrastus envisioned himself as ahead of everyone else. You know, the road of Theophrastus is a dark and a dark road, and his work is considered controversial. Are you sure you wish to learn more about this figure?
Indeed, yeah. I mean, I'm a very curious kobold, so, and seek knowledge and wisdom from learning about the past, and sounds like from what I'm hearing from Theophrastus,
Okay.
sounds like he was kind of narcissist in some ways, and he just wanted. And yeah, I'm just curious. Have you met him before?
Oh, no, definitely not. I would hope to never meet Theophrastus and to never come in contact with one of his works, as they can be exceptionally potent and dangerous. But if you are curious in learning more about Theophrastus, I would suggest next to researching his alchemical apotheosis.
Gotcha. This chemical hypoth.
Yes, his alchemical apotheosis.
Gotcha. And you know anything else about this fella?
Not
Anything else?
well. Let me think off the top of my head here. His alchemical apotheosis is about as far as my knowledge extends, but I know we have books that discuss the topic in the library here. If you would venture back into the alchemical section, it's probably fairly close to where you originally read about Theophrastus.
Gotcha. Wouldn't mind checking out some literature.
Excellent. Well, let me know if you need anything else. Oh, yes.
I mean, if your name again.
What was that, Tom?
Remind me of your name again.
Oh, I am Two Blinks.
Blinks.
Yes, I am Two Blinks, he says, and he will blink twice.
It's a little. Could it be literal? It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, pleasure meeting you. Enjoy your time in the library.
Gotcha.
So, if I go back to our previous page, yeah, for now, we'll step away from Mebley's adventures in the library and journey to another plane entirely as we look at what Kildrak is up to since he met with you may have met with the ruler of Akka in the plane of air, but you definitely met with some important folks regardless. But I'm not sure if we decided where you were going next, Josh.
That depends on Current's availability and desire to go visit her father.
Yes. And I know Current was thinking about going to the Fey realm. So would you want to take a detour to the plane of water, or would you want to go to the Fey realm first and then perhaps the plane of water later?
I need a reminder of the last thing that I interacted with Titania with, because that was what my plan hinged on, and I don't remember what she said.
She answered your commune about what was it? The word starts phylacteries. That's the word. And I believe then you researched phylacteries and went to Sigil to talk to the one monk who knew about phylacteries and Sigil. But Yeah,
Oh,
you
and
still
he
have some
directed me to the
questions.
Feywild for.
Yeah, to ask Titania herself to get some clearer answers because he wasn't able to shed light on everything for you.
Okay, then I would go to the Feywild.
Okay, cool. So, does that mean Kildrak will hold off on visiting the Plane of Water for now?
Yep, Plane of Earth, and a detour through Jotunmere, I guess, because that's the easiest way that I'm aware of to access the Plane of Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, you head through Jotunmere, and I'm sure you'll probably spend at least a few nights, maybe a glad weekend in Jotunmere, celebrating life with your family and your friends and your fellow dwarves, whose ancestral axe you wield. And when the festivities are said and done, you venture off into the mountains and once again take the strange, long, sloping path that goes down into the earth and then eventually comes back up and out into the plane of elemental earth. And from there, it is just a nice walking journey to the capital of that plane. So would you want to head straight there and start talking to some Dao? I know you also have a contact in your friend Tannen's draconic patron. Yes, the crystal dragon there. I didn't know if you'd want to stop in there or meet with the Dao.
We left him on good terms, I would assume, since his follower came with us. We did a favor for him, didn't we?
Yeah, you guys fought a Zorn for the crystal dragon.
That is many sessions ago, but
Yeah.
that is a good place to start.
Cool.
Where in the world are we going?
So you meet with Zafel, and Zafel is when you emerge from the dwarven realm into the plane of Earth. You're fairly central in that realm, and you will travel for a day and a half or so to get closer to the one edge of the plane, where it eventually turns into the plane of ooze, and there is Zafel's lair. And Zafel is quite pleased to meet with you, and says, Kildrak, you journey alone. How have your adventures been? What brings you to my lair?
Well, for now, I journey alone. I and my companions have split off following our uh, delve into the abyss, shall we say. I trust that you are at least moderately informed on the events that have been happening across the plains and down into the abyss.
Oh, you weren't speaking in metaphor, the literal abyss.
The literal
Oh.
abyss. I'll fill him in on the details of our journey. I don't know that there's much anything that I care to admit that would come up in a quick retelling. The only sensitive topic, perhaps, is the amethyst dragon, but like that's such a tiny detail, I'm not even going to bring it up anyway. So, yeah, after recounting the story, I'll kind of fill him in on how we have split up to try and tie up some loose ends that were not able to be addressed while we were occupied doing other things.
Yes. And so you must be here to see if the Dao have made any great discoveries Their experiments in the elemental chaos, no? It seems to
That
be the talk of the
is
land these days.
indeed. I've traveled through two of the other elemental planes before reaching here, and similarly, the talk of everyone is this new breach that is formed in elemental chaos. Though I'm relieved that this has forced the planes to focus their efforts on the chaos instead of on each other, I would appreciate any information you have about what the Tao have been up to.
Well, if you're concerned about what the Tao have been up to, I must admit, many months ago I heard rumors of ramping up efforts for wars and invasions, but of late, much of the talk has been about the elemental chaos, and it seems to be an exceptionally volatile and vastly expansive realm that it is theorized to connect all of the elemental planes together, but it's certainly not a safe realm to send invasion forces across or whatnot. I have only heard of expeditionary teams going to try and make great discoveries in the border regions of the elemental chaos.
I admit that this is heartening for me to hear because I had feared that treaties forged in haste could also be broken just as quickly. Uh, Even though I don't wish any harm to befall the planes and the breach is concerning, I have to admit it's pretty fortuitous for us.
Sure, that is great to hear that it aligns with your goals. And yes, I mean, surely bad discoveries can be made every now and then, but exploration certainly seems a lot more appealing to me than war and potential domination of land to land, or many beings domineering over many other beings.
I think that that's, unless he's going to give me any other information, I will exchange pleasantries and information with him for an appropriate amount of time. Um, this town was guarded, and we had to present a letter to enter from the dwarves, maybe?
Yes,
Or
yes,
we
that sounds right.
introduced ourselves as envoys from the dwarves. Um, when I was in Jotunmere, I would have asked if there is a dwarven liaison stationed in uh, the plane of Earth.
They would tell you that you should be able to get into the high city of the Tao simply by presenting your ancestral hammer of the dwarves, and that should be more suitable than any letter or other token they could give you.
All right. Well, I'll go bust down the door then, as it were. Uh, Mostly to uh, show the face of a dwarf again. And I don't know that I'll really fish for any more information than what I'm looking for, but Kildrak will keep his eyes and ears open.
Cool. Yeah, you can go to the Tao City. I'll put you on this goofy little map that I pulled from Roll20. That was more representative of the Tao High Council, which is like way up on this pinnacle where you can actually see the sky, whereas in most of the plane of Earth, you are underground. But anyways, a smaller, still very well built and well dressed Tao will let you in at the gate, and when you present your weapon, they will bow respectfully and say, "Oh, the Uberdorf has been quite some time since one of you has appeared. Please enjoy your stay in our city," they say as they open the gates.
I would sooner die than let any of my party members find out that people in the plane of Earth call me the Uber Dwarf.
To Uberdorf. You're so cool, man.
Oh gosh.
You're called the Uberdorf.
Kildrak will
Um,
not breathe a word of this.
So, if you want to just go ahead and roll like a straight charisma, or you could do like insight or persuasion if you want, about gathering any information in the city.
Um, my insight is actually higher than all of my charisma skills by 1.
Wow, nice.
There's no stopping him.
So, what would what are you looking for and listening for from the Tao and the Darrow and all the other dwellers of the plane of Earth that live here?
If they have found anything of note in the elemental chaos, if anyone understands the nature of this breach, and then I feel like I'm being reassured from all sides that we're not about to go to war, but are there suspicious people plotting and preparing to invade anyone else?
So you hear of um yeah, I'm not gonna be able to remember the name of this person or find it in the notes very easily, I don't think. But you do hear rumors of the god that originally Tharizdun, it came to me. The god who originally they say was corrupted by the shard of evil, and the shard of evil compelled him to throw it into the elemental chaos, and then it started burrowing down into the abyss. Nobody here is talking about the shard of evil, but they do mention something with Tharizdun and how like after Tharizdun, the elemental chaos was like sealed away or contained, and it seems that this ancient churning roiling realm has reappeared, and you hear a little bit of discoveries that they say that they find new elements and hyper states of forms and exciting phases, and particularly certain gemstones have very interesting characteristics inside the elemental chaos, but that is the most of what you hear, and you don't hear of like war plans or things along those lines. Cool.
Why, thank you.
So
All right, yep, I'm good.
we will
Oh, gosh dang it. I'm lagging. Ugh.
Sir, since hags dabble in bits of alchemy and potion making, and he's drank a fuck ton of potions, he is going to look to see if Paracelsian became a god through alchemy, then that means the means of his undoing have to be found in alchemy as well. So I'm going to try to find any alchemy that would have proved and be like, oh, this is how he became a god, and then reverse engineer that and see how we can bring him down.
All right. So in the Modron library, you can roll many different skill checks to try and determine the information you are looking for. So what sort of I guess how are you searching for this information?
Everything in the library is like organized properly, right? I think I would just use intelligence and sit down and read the books and find the answers like manually.
Yeah, the library is organized exceptionally meticulously, and its organization system may seem very confusing and strange to those, especially those who are less lawful in personality. But you can definitely just try and figure out their organization system and look for this alchemical information that you seek.
21 for intelligence?
21. You look up and you are like you have in your mind specifically this phrase that you picked out from the contract about penumbral disenthrallment, and you are more focused on the disenthrallment part of it, and that makes you think of a soul sort of being free, maybe detaching, very or yeah, not dissimilarly to what happened to Witchblade. So your alchemical books all talk about various ways of trapping souls, and there are some spells that may do it, or some magic items that can trap a soul. But that sort of resonates with you, and you see lots of images of creatures with a glowing circle in their chest that is a little reminiscent of the capsule inside of Indura's chest. But you think you would probably want a magical item or a spell or string of spells to capture the soul of your quarry to ensure it doesn't go somewhere where it may reapparate, reform, regenerate, what have you.
Oh, I know that Current is looking into phylacteries with Titania, so I guess I will figure out the best way to weaponize this information and start making strategy around it so that I don't have a 1 minute oopsie casting time of Geas again. And like actually have it prepped.
Yeah. And then we will continue to Current, who is traveling to the Feywild. I was gonna say Fey Realm, but that is Alamus. This is the Feywild. And you are able to find the home of the Sealy Court. So, I mean, however if you wish to approach Titania in her personal temple or in front of the court of Sealy Fae, or however else, you can try and treat with her.
I guess I would go to her temple and try to entreat with her.
Sure. When you get there, she is not on her seat at the center of the grand chamber in her temple, but some fairies that are her attendants say that she will be there shortly, and so you only have to wait an hour, and you are the one and only petitioner in her temple in the Feywild. And Titania floats in majestically, her green robes and her white train and sashes flowing behind her, and she will gracefully sit upon her throne, and she looks down and says, "Oh, a current, you have arrived. How grand. I hope your journey fared you well."
I mean, it was a lot easier to get here than it was to get to the abyss, so... Yes, it went well.
Most excellent. Yes, you have basically literally been through hell, I guess we'll say. And you have come back and come back victorious, which is most excellent. And now you find yourself before me, so please tell me, Current, what is it that you seek?
When I communed with you earlier, you spoke of a phylactery. Can you please tell me how I should obtain a phylactery and why I need one? For what purpose?
Yes, actually, I was thinking of providing you with a phylactery, but it would be ideal for you to find and craft your own. The container for your soul can take many shapes, but it should reflect who you are. Many of my faithful who must construct a soul container because they are required to go on perilous journeys where sometimes my power can't reach them, will typically craft a box or container out of wood. But with your heritage, I almost wonder if something like a shell or other container would be more suitable to you. It is really whatever you choose, and then if you spend a bit over a week working and doing incantations with your phylactery, with some instructions that I give you, you will be able to attune your soul to the container, such that if you unfortunately perish, your soul will be safely kept in there.
I see. Thank you for the instruction. But I still don't understand why I need a phylactery.
Yes, well, the mission I have in mind for you involves traveling decaying ether space. And ether space is full of the magical sort of, fire isn't a great word for it, maybe you might call it plasma or energy, the phlogiston. And it is a chaotic thing that blocks even the power of us divine entities. Thankfully,
I remember you telling me about that. I don't understand why I'm going through the ether space. What is my mission? What am I to do?
there is a temple to my faithful within a crystal sphere inside the phlogiston. And it has been quite some time since I last checked in on that world. I would like you to go and visit and ensure that my will is being done and the temple is in good standing and kept up. If you could do that,
Okay.
I would greatly appreciate it.
I
And
think
of
I get
course,
the picture
this
now.
would-
Okay.
Yes, and of course, this mission would replace the originally planned year of servitude in exchange for my help in keeping you attached to your own soul when your soul was in peril.
That sounds great. Okay, I will work on that. Thank you for the clarification. Sometimes I am dumb.
Oh, no, you are. Yes, you are just fine, and I am very glad you visited me. Please, if you wouldn't mind joining myself and many others for a feast tomorrow in the mid-afternoon, that would be most excellent, and some of my attendants will present you with further instructions about attuning to and properly enchanting your phylactery once you find a suitable container.
That sounds good.
Cool. So, yeah, Current can spend a decent amount of time in the Feywild, and eventually you will get written instructions on how to spend like about a week and a half. Once you have, say, if you have a box, how you will enchant your box and get your soul attuned to it.
Okay.
And then, in the meantime, Scaldrus is in Mechanus with the others, still researching the entity Paracelsion. So how does Scaldrus research Paracelsion, and what exactly are you trying to find out about him?
I don't know.
Well, even if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, you can still perform research. So I don't know how you think Scaldrus would perform research in this Modron library. I'm assuming you would probably not want to try and figure out their organization system yourself. Maybe talking to the librarians and getting their help on finding the material you want with charisma skills might be more up your alley.
Most likely, yeah. Anybody remotely close to me?
Well, I believe you are performing this research with Carter, Mebley, and Redatu as well, who have all traveled to Mechanus with you.
Sorry. What am I supposed to be doing?
Well, you don't know I guess to try and not give too much away, I would just posit making sure that you guys know the who, what, when, where, and why of Paracelsion. You have figured out a little bit of the who. There's, just knowing your quarry will help you be successful in eliminating them, fighting them.
I would probably go with where.
Sure. So you want to ask librarians about Paracelsian and specifically where his perhaps base of operations or
Yep.
is
Where
at?
his lair is.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. I'm assuming persuasion, unless you had another.
Yeah, that would work. That would not work.
Nice. 3 on the die, but still a decent outcome. So you do not find much specifics, but a few hints that Paracelsian, Theophrastus took up the name Paracelsian after achieving immortality, and specifically it seems that he achieved immortality by transforming himself into a penumbral fiend, a sort of like an arch shadow demon. And those penumbral fiends typically dwell in the outer plane known as Gehenna. And it is said that Gehenna is where Paracelsian did his ritual of transforming himself into a greater penumbral fiend in the year 901, so like 700 years ago. And he dwells in a place known as Castle Blackfume.
That's about right.
That is what you learn. And then alongside Scaldrus, here at the end of our initiative order, Reditu is also helping you guys research. And so, Luke, you can roll for research inside this library in Mechanus, and we also said that your simulacrum, who is touring the plains, doing concerts, was also close to a lead at the end of last session, although I forget what exactly your simulacrum was looking for, if you remember.
I think he had. I know he started off looking for leads regarding where Witchblade had disappeared to, or like how to cause an event or something that could bring him back. But I think we kind of might have discovered that was not really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
I can't remember what we ended up changing his like goal to.
So maybe he's just trying to learn any rumors about Paracelsian?
Yeah, that'd probably be that'd be the most logical thing for him to do.
Yeah, since that seems to be the direction you guys are taking to free Scaldrus' soul. So would you like to resolve the simulacrum lead, or your research first? Either way works for me.
Simulacrum.
Cool. Just go ahead. Your simulacrum is a pretty good copy of yourself. So would you want to roll performance?
Yeah.
If maybe like insight or something, but I feel like performance just kind of makes sense.
Okay. He's performing.
Nice. A 2 on the die, but
Yeah, I know, right?
result over 20. It's crazy. So, just off the top of your head, where do you think your simulacrum would be performing in the multiverse?
Let's see. He's probably in the plane of air.
Oh, sure. Yeah, very cool. So, you are putting on your simulacrum is putting on quite a spectacular show in the plane of air. And they learn that Paracelsian appears to be connected to some certain devices that were used for great evil. And specifically, your simulacrum hears that there was, in the plane of air, an evil death tyrant known as Vexeldran, and that when Vexeldran's plans were spoiled, he had a strange failsafe where his essence merged into this like planar portal that led to a realm of destruction, and but a brave band of adventurers blew up the portal, and Vexeldran was no more. And the secret to his essence merging with this portal of destruction was divulged to him by Paracelsian, or one of Paracelsian's emissaries that travel the multiverse, spreading his gospels of profane secrets.
Huh. Curious.
And in addition to that, your simulacrum hears that in Gehenna, some devils are known to offer information from Paracelsian, who is also purported to be from Gehenna, but you just know, your simulacrum learned that like the Ifrites, the fire genies, they in particular can get some of these profane secrets by traveling to different devils castles in Gehenna.
That is useful.
And so that is contained in a few reports that you get back from your simulacrum before you guys get to the library and you are conducting your research. So what would Reditu like to look up?
Maybe information about his emissaries and like how to find them, or ways that they tend to show up, I guess.
Sure, yeah. And how would you do research in the library? Would it be more of a charisma thing, interacting with the Modrons, or just more like hunker down, intelligence, wisdoms?
I don't typically enjoy reading as much as I do talking to people.
So, a persuasion roll, perhaps?
Sure, yeah. Persuade some information out of them. What is it?
Oof. Yeah. Man, there's been a slew of low rolls on the die.
A slew of twos.
Yeah. So you hear... Yeah, much of the same about some devils from Gehenna knowing this information, and they you would find these devils typically in keeps atop black stone hills of the inhospitable landscape there, and when working with those devils, they are always down for a deal, and they never give away anything for free. And they also like to skim a little off the top, and are not opposed to backstabbing as long as it aligns with the precise terms of their deal.
Okay, good to know, I suppose.
All right. So that is probably a good point for us to take a short break. We can come back at 8:20, and then I think for this next month, we will maybe go a little faster paced. I think Kildrak and Current will both be going to the plane of water, and then the other 4 are probably doing this research, whether in Mechanus or somewhere else. So hopefully we'll get through that reasonably quickly, and then we'll call the session a little earlier than normal, around 9 or so.
Cool.
But yeah,
Sounds good.
time for restroom break, drinks, whatever. We'll be back in 5. Initiative once again for our second round here, and this, I originally said 6 months, but this will be technically month 4, and I think after month 4 we will move on to probably next week. No, next week is Labor Day, but in our next session, doing actual, I don't know, not downtime things, I guess. -1. Another 2. Yeah, the slew of 2s continued. And then a couple 10s.
Except my 2 goes down from there, unlike everyone else.
Yeah.
I just love how Branded 2 has a +7.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
How do you have a plus to your initiative?
Yeah, the 4 is... It might be a bard thing, I don't know. Yeah, I think the 4 is dex, I don't know what the +3 is. I think alert is +5 to initiative, or advantage on initiative.
+5.
I was gonna say I think it's the alert thing, but yeah, I thought that was 5 as well. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's something like that where it gives you a little bonus too. But yeah, I'm not sure what exactly the source is off the top of my head. Dang. So we have okay. We're just waiting for Mebley and Kildrak on initiative. Which is Tom returned. Tom usually rolls yeah, okay. Lower roll, I was gonna but still the top of everyone, even with his atypically low roll. So, those of you in Mechanus have come across a few secrets and whatnot, but I don't know if you feel like you want to move on, or you could probably stay here and learn some more. But that's up to you guys, and Mebley will be the first to, if you're here, first to interact with some more Modrons and hopefully get information, or first to move on to the next thing.
Am I still in the library?
If you guys wish to
Or am I in
continue
the-
researching there, yeah.
What do we think? Do we want to move on, or do we want to stay here?
I feel like it'd behoove us to find a couple more answers. Like, trapping his soul with some kind of magical artifact would be beneficial. I don't know if we can get our hands on that, so maybe we can look for an exact way to get it. I know Current is making one, but I think that's just for herself.
Okay.
So we could look
Gotcha.
into any kind of powerful artifacts or any magic we could use to shield ourselves from any stuff he can do. I don't know. I feel like there's something else we can find out though.
Great, gotcha. So maybe worth picking up, staying here in the library, or even going outside. Limit, or
I vote for staying, but I'm down for whatever.
It'd be hilarious to trap him in a genie bottle.
I actually do want to talk to the library clerk again
Yeah.
about all that stuff.
Yeah, what questions do you have for them this time? Two Blinks will happily welcome you back to their counter in the library and answer questions.
Oh, first, after he blinks, I will hit him with 2 blinks. And
When you greet him with 2 blinks, he will cock his head and blink twice again, and then like shake his head and say, welcome back."
hello again. I'm usually really bad with names, but we seem to have good chemistry already. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Yes. Welcome back to the library.
I was wondering if you you have any pointers on any artifacts, or because I want to be in some other members are curious in that field of stuff, and we were wondering if there's a section here in your shrine or library, or if you know any connects. And what I mean by artifacts is something that would trap someone or capture someone.
So, I know of a few possibilities. So tell me, what are you most interested in researching? Off the top of my head, potentially suitable items include iron flasks, genie bottles, phylacteries, and soul cages.
I would be dying to have more expertise on phylacteries and especially genie bottles.
Okay, sure. Yes. Follow me. So what would you like to roll this time, Tom, for your skill? Some sort of charisma skill, or for interacting with the duo drone and other clerks?
I like to chat him up. I want him or her to.
So I'll say you could roll because of your favorable interactions with 2 blinks before. You could roll persuasion with advantage.
Or think that we're not doing anything suspicious with Theo. Keep forgetting his name.
Yeah, that's a Theophrastus. It is a funky one.
Oh well, that's not.
With advantage.
Second.
Oh my word. Dang.
Most
Unfortunately,
pathetic advantage ever.
yeah, unfortunately, anything that you learn does not really come as much news to you. That liches can create phylacteries and fuel them with souls and keep their souls in there and regenerate. You learn, especially like perhaps tall tales about genies being trapped in bottles and whatnot. All of the things that you find in your current research endeavor is not very enlightening, unfortunately.
Gotcha. So it's more like I don't know much more.
Yep, yeah, you don't come across any particular revelations, unfortunately, that might help you with the Paracelsian situation. And then, so as Mebly is struggling with those questions, Reditu can also take charge with some research. Not sure how or what exactly you think you're going to research right now.
Yeah, not positive really. What gaps are I missing in our research? Would we say is like most needed? Do the fellow peoples have opinions?
Um,
I'm thinking, I think the only thing I could think of would be how exactly he attacks, but I just assumed magic.
That's fair. I guess. I mean, yeah, I could research, see if there's any like surprising, like maybe lair action stuff.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good thought, yeah. See if he
Yeah,
has
I'll look into
thunder
that.
or something.
Cool.
Yeah, probably useful.
Would that be a persuasion roll or some other skill?
I'll talk people's ears off until they don't want to help me anymore. Not sure if that would be. I already did persuasion, bro. Something different, right?
You can do persuasion again if it's the most applicable thing.
I think so.
Yeah, I think persuasion makes sense. Nice.
That's all.
15's a lot better than a 2.
Yeah.
And a 28. So you, thanks to Scaldrus's research, or no, maybe it was your research, but you know that he layers in a place called Castle Blackfume. And as you are talking to one of the helpful monodrones there, he is going through a tome with you, and he says, "Oh, it seems that this Castle Blackfume actually has a lot of similarities to a fortress in Mechanus."
Oh. Well, that's certainly curious.
Yeah, so there is one goddess, Lendis, a draconic-oriented deity of law, and she had a moving fortress that was sort of modeled after the moving fortress of Lolth in her Demon Web Pits. Where in the Demon Web Pits, Lolth's moving fortress crawls across the Demon Web like a city-sized spider. Lendis had a mechanical moving fortress made of gears and precise calculations, and it sort of like it required very little energy to move, as it was just this beautiful wonder of motion. And it seems that Castle Blackfume is also a moving fortress. It says here that it is quite noisy, with its stomping march across the blackened roots of Gehenna. If you are close enough to Castle Blackfume, it must be impossible to miss. But unfortunately, Gehenna is exceptionally large. Based on my rudimentary calculations, it could take decades to stumble across the walking megastructure, and that's ignoring the obvious issues of living in navigating Gehenna to begin with. Let's see here. So the legs of the fortress are about six stories. I'm assuming in your mortal realm you have multi-story buildings. You know how big 6 stories is?
Yeah.
The legs are permanently coated in radioactive residue of the structure's arcane engines. Radioactive means it's harmful even if you're like close to it. You feel me? You can contract diseases from being near it.
That sounds so lovely.
And so you'd probably want to fly up to the main structure of the fortress. You just want to watch out from it says there's dozens of hanging turret pods that swing from the fortress at the end of long chains of reinforced steel. Wow, that seems impractical. Intriguing. Oh, this may be helpful. Just invisibility spells alone are not enough to fool these swinging turret pods. They are able to divine nearby sources of heat and noise.
Heat and noise.
Yep. Wow. And I wonder how these people even got all this information about his crazy fortress. Okay. Paracelsian, typically from the center of his fortress, can command pretty much each and every machine in the place mentally. And so, yeah, you said you were worried about fighting him in his lair. Is that correct?
I'm kind of worried about him at this point now, but yeah.
Yeah, wow. I mean, this seems really dangerous. I mean, I would want to watch out for really anything. Whether he tries to trap you with cages in his realm, tries to manipulate, zones of magic or anti-magic. Oh, I mean, I'm sure he could spray out all sorts of alchemical substances at you. Phew. Okay, and once you are if you're able to get inside the fortress, you'll probably have to navigate a maze of clanking gears, engines, and reactors. There are both slaves and deadly constructs that attend these arcane devices. And in the deepest part of the fortress is where laboratories and personnel quarters are found. And I'm sure you could put this together, but it seems that Paracelsion's apprentices themselves are extremely capable. And you wouldn't want to cross them.
Yes, that's always good to be reminded of.
Yep, that is I think that's all of your questions I can answer from this tome here.
Well, it was a pleasure talking. Thanks for the information, my friend.
Oh, no problem. It's my pleasure. And please come again if you are looking for looking to further your knowledge of the multiverse.
Of course.
And let's go ahead and skip away for a second and see what Current and Kildrak are up to. Where would the two of you meet? As you know, Kildrak probably mentioned this, going to the plane of water to Current via ascending, and she is going to the Feywild, and now you two are both available to head to the plane of water and check this last stop off of Kildrak's journey here. So where did you guys meet up?
I would imagine Gnesu's castle.
Well, I was going to say probably in the material plane because I don't really have a means of getting to water.
Not with plane shift?
No, I only go up to 5th level in my spells.
Oh, my bad. Then I'll go there and plane shift us there.
Thank you,
Cool.
Current.
So yeah, you guys will meet up in the material plane, and perhaps for a short while relive some of your adventures in the material plane before you head back to the Citadel of 10,000 Pearls and the high seat of the Marids. So how would you guys approach the Emperor Gnesu?
What is our goal here?
How did he fare? Did he live? Is he still there?
Yes, yeah, so he will be seated on his coral throne, and you guys are led into his throne room by his attendants there and his great warriors.
Hey, not to be annoying, but how are
And-
you breathing, Kildrak?
He's not.
Excellent question.
Last time you guys were given pearls of water breathing, so I guess you would probably acquire one of these pearls for him ASAP.
I would need someone to help me. Yes.
That would be my first thing on my to-do list.
Yeah,
Kildrak
and
is still
Breathing
equipped for
ability for
surviving.
Kildrak.
and deep in near the Citadel of 10,000 Pearls, they would have a few strategically placed air bubbles that are magically there for travelers, and yeah, so Kildrak, you're able to keep him safe and then get him a pearl of water breathing and water talking. So yeah.
Sounds good.
Well, with his arms spread open, he stands up, and so does the dozen or so court members who are present in the throne room, and Emperor Gnesu says, "Welcome, everyone. Please welcome my daughter and her adventuring companion, Mr. Frostbeard here. Come, please regale us with tales of your exploits, and please," he gestures to a few people on his right, "please start up a fine meal, and we will celebrate with them tonight." And so everyone kind of bows before you, and the Emperor will sit back down and recline, holding on to his ginormous trident, and he beckons you forward to present yourselves to him and the rest of the Marids present.
Well, I've given my spiel about 3 or 4 times now, at least. Not counting all the times that I've done it off camera. So, Current, if you would like to regale your father with the tales of your heroic deeds, be my guest.
Okay. I would start with an explanation of what happened from the last time that we saw him until the present. And with the Pearl of Telepathy, I would also tell him about my mission for a phylactery and my goal to cross the ether something?
Yeah, ether space.
Ether space. That. Yeah.
Mm. My oh my. Well, how wonderful for you to face all of this adversity and overcome it all. You know, we here in the plane of water have been living in fear for quite some time. Threats from deep chasms, threats from other elemental planes, and threats whether from or trying to traverse through the material plane to get to us. These past few weeks have been some of the most peaceful and filled with excitement. We are truly grateful for the good times we are able to have now, and hopeful for at the possibility of discoveries and new adventures. Now, Mr. Kildrak, you look a little not concerned, quizzical. Do you have any particular questions for us, or are you satisfied with our state of affairs?
My other purpose in coming here, as I've visited all of the elemental planes in the time since the campaign in the Abyss has concluded, is to uh, determine the state of the contracts that we hastily signed in the heat of impending war. It seems to me that the rest of the elemental planes have turned their attention to the breaches caused by elemental chaos and are quickly abandoning the idea of at least imminent war with each other. So, my other purpose beyond bringing you tidings of our victory is to determine your perspective on how the conflict among the elemental planes has either resolved or is merely broiling beneath the surface and waiting to re-erupt.
You know, yes, those contracts of peace that we initially made seem outdated, even already. But you may be pleased to hear that emissaries of our court have been working together with some from the Tao and some from the genies. We have embarked on multiple joint ventures to explore the elemental chaos from the fronts of the plane of ice and plane of ooze, together with representatives from the plane of earth and plane of air. And all of these endeavors have gone pretty well for the most part, and we are making some truly fascinating discoveries. As for our relationship with the Ifrit, they feel so distant now. We may never get along with each other, but as long as they are not at the forefront of our mind and don't have a means of invading our space through a hapless place like the material plane, we we are okay, and I think they are content to leave us be, as we are content to leave them be for the time being.
Well, I would hesitate to suggest that I am capable of erasing eons of enmity with a mere few months of work, so I can't say that that result is particularly surprising, though, as you may imagine, I am glad to hear that the material plane is not in any imminent danger from a new conflict.
Yes, we still hold on to our few easy traversal points to the deepest reaches of the material plane, where Tritons venture into the plane of water for growing of age ceremonies, and a similar thing happens with Sahuagin of the material plane. But aside from that, we do not hold much vested interest in that place right now, especially not for in a military capacity.
Well, I would sooner ask you to stop the sun than to eliminate all crossing between the material and elemental planes. So, those are of small import to me and to the material plane.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate your coming to visit us, and I hope you enjoy our fine food. Now, if everyone could leave us, I would like a moment to speak with my daughter. And so all the court attendees will hastily make their exit.
As will Kildrak.
Cool. And then Ginesu will say, ether space. My. A realm older than the one we call home. Ether space is not even a distant memory to our people. It is mostly the stuff of fairy tales. My daughter, that is very exciting that you have gotten the opportunity to travel to the decaying remnants of that mysterious place. I give you all my blessings on your journey to this world within a crystal sphere. And tell me, what do you think of your search for a phylactery? Is there anything I could assist you with in that regard?
I'd like to look for an abalone shell for my phylactery. I was wondering if you know where I could find them.
Abalones are quite beautiful, and I know of a couple places you could hunt for such a piece of art from our natural realm to encapsulate your truest being. Whether you wish to journey deep within our watery plane to retrieve abalone shells from creatures in deep caves where they grow freely, or if you wish to journey to the surface of the sea and pick an abalone shell from our most beautiful beaches, I could lead you in either direction.
I want the strongest abalone shell I could find. I could only imagine that would be in the depths of the sea.
Yes, those are the most untouched and the most natural, and I would say the most beautiful. So I could send you out with a small team, and you could they could embark for this journey probably 2 days from now. Is that all right with you?
Sounds good to me.
Most excellent. Well, with that out of the way, come walk with me. Let's. Would you like to ride some sharks or some whales?
Sure, that sounds lovely.
Excellent. So, Current will be able to recover an abalone shell, and by the end of the month, have prepared a phylactery that it does not contain your soul in the way like a lich's phylactery kind of contains the truest part of them, and it would not like regenerate you after a certain amount of time if you die. But if you die, your soul will be kept safe inside of the abalone shell that is your phylactery.
So, what would I need a new body to be resurrected, or?
Yes, the hope would be for it to be returned to Titania, who could do something with it, whether you go to an afterlife, a reincarnated, resurrected, reformed. If you wish to discuss the particulars of what happens if you die, you could do so with Titania before you actually go on your mission. But yeah, you have that.
I don't need to waste more time. I'll figure it out if it happens.
Sure.
Keeping your soul from getting used.
So you have that important thing figured out. And with that, we can return to the others. Scaldrus and Carter. In Mechanus, you guys are continuing your research about Paracelsian. So what are you looking for, and how do you go about obtaining the information you seek? We can start with Scaldrus.
Well, we know the location, we know who he is, we know the layer, environment. We got information about the genie bottles, right?
Not really, no. Unfortunately, Mebley did not make any headway in that particular research.
I'm definitely curious on that because of just previous experience. I think it would also be very ironic to have him stuck in a genie lamp when when he's trying to go after a person who has a genie background.
Yeah. Is that something you would want to research in Mechanus, or would you want to research that in an elemental plane or somewhere else?
Where would that type of information most likely be? Would that be a good question for Afridi, or for is there a different place that is like the home of genies?
I would say the types of genie most connected with the getting trapped in bottles or rings or whatever would be the Jinn in the plane of air, or the Afridis in the plane of fire. And your patron himself has not said that he's ever been bound to something like that, or anything along those lines, but you could research that sort of thing in the City of Brass, or you could research it in the Plane of Air. What Current had Nadia from the Air Genie trapped in her. I believe that was also a ring. The City of Brass or the Plane of Air would both be decent spots to look for that information, I think.
I would definitely go back to the Plane of Air or Plane of Fire.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's very easy for you guys to return to the City of Brass. And how would you do this research? Would you do some academic study, like some investigation, or talk to people, maybe a persuasion, or another means of?
The question would be, is being trapped in a ring or lamp counted as a affected curse towards someone, or if that is if it's a negative thing or if it's a positive thing, because that might have some resistance of understanding the information or knowledge of gaining the information.
You could research it in a library around there. Or you could try to seek out somebody who either knows the secrets of trapping things into bottles or what have you, or like an Afridi who has been trapped. But just being in the City of Brass, you feel like you're in the right place to make these discoveries.
Probably go to a genie that has been trapped before.
Okay. Cool. So that would probably be persuasion with them.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
My 3 rolls that I've had today are 2, 3,
The slew
and 2.
of twos continue. You find a genie or an Afriti who has been trapped in a bottle before, and you have heard this from asking around at local establishments. You are not sure if they are still bound to a bottle, or they have gotten the bottle for themselves, so they're like no longer bound by anyone, or what. But unfortunately, this Afridi is very hostile, and they do not want to talk about the subject at all. You press and pry, and they don't really give you much of anything that is helpful. Just telling you to shoo and go away and don't bother and stop asking. That is about it.
Some of you are just a little furious with fire. Then I would probably just wait. Okay. I will continue trying to push on him. Showing him my ring and being like, For you to understand, I am not one that is disconnected to how you feel. I understand what it's like to lose control of your own device that you called home for so long, and then being ripped from your ability to seek it as a home, but as a prison. I trust that you would be willing to give positive information on how to trap someone that deserves to be in a prison versus like us who do not, only to live in it as a home.
All right, so you can go ahead and roll persuasion one more time, and hopefully it pans. Oh man,
Oh my gosh.
do you have inspiration or anything?
I don't. What the frick is wrong with this thing? I literally rolled a 19 and then I rolled a 14 or 1.
Yeah, that is brutal. So unfortunately, the Afridi listens to your case and then, without saying a word, will shut the door to his little home in front of your face. And it doesn't seem like that path is going to be fruitful. So we still have our robotic friend Carter, who can also try to research the same vein of information or try to research anything else.
Well, now that we have a description of the Black Fuming Castle, I would like to either find illustrations of it or find either a scrying orb or a scroll of scrying, so that I can very precisely describe where to plane shift, so that we don't have to search Gehenna. We'll just bamf right on top of it.
All right, so for that,
Oh, and also a way for myself to fly, since I'm out of those potions. So I guess actually what would make the most sense, now that I'm talking out loud, is going back to the homunculus shop or somewhere that sells magic items. Although, I don't have any gold.
You need some gold? Where'd it all go?
Yeah, Witchblade had a lot of his gear left because he wasn't really too sure what he would need on the other side. So he took 5,000 platinum and 93,000 gold with him, which in hindsight was a bit of an oversight.
So yeah, would you like to conduct that sort of research, like back in Mechanist still, or do you want to like go to Mordenkainen's place and try to get flying stuff and maybe do some research there, or what?
That is a great idea. I would go back to Mordenkainen and try to find some magical equipment.
All right. So go ahead and what do we roll for that? Probably.
I would go up to either Mordenkainen or Icarus and explain the situation that we're in and the tasks that we're dealing with, and I'm gonna try to call it in as a favor to get what we need for this attack, and just consider it like, I don't know, either I owe you one or this is a perk of our friendship type thing. Since we're trying
Sure.
to do this to like win
Just
back
like
the
a-
soul of someone who just saved the multiverse, it's kind of like a guilt trip / calling in a favor thing.
So you could roll like charisma with advantage. I think probably that makes the most sense.
16
Nice.
with a +0.
So you, Mordenkainen is very busy with his research and presumably becoming attached to the enchanting fae Lady Thistledown. He may be preoccupied romantically as well. But you run into
Enchantments
Icarus.
of an entirely different sort.
You're right. And he says, "Oh, fellow constructed one, welcome back. It's good to see you. It sounds like you would like some aerial mobility solutions, eh?"
That, as well as the ability to remotely view the target location, would be fantastic.
Okay, that I will stick to the aerial mobility issue. And he poses, putting out his right foot for display, kind of like pointing to it. And he has attached to both of his ankles these cylindrical things that have the little tubes running up to his back there. And he says, "I have created these jet feet attachments, and yes, here, come into my lab. I will show you how they work."
Ooh.
And so Icarus, in his lab, he stands in an open area, clicks his heels together twice, and with a whoosh, his jet boots activate, and he promptly shoots up straight into the ceiling, crashing into it, and is kind of stuck in the ceiling by his head, his feet wildly dangling. After like 3 seconds or so, the jet boots deactivate, and he's flailing around, and you hear muffled cries. Would you like to try to pull him out of the ceiling?
Yeah, I'll catch him so he doesn't fall and hurt himself.
Yeah, with a not so graceful descent, he falls down and composes himself. Okay, they're I'm working on them. In the meantime, I guess we could do the old-fashioned route, where we get your mostly your legs. I mean, it's an enchantment that affects you, but mostly your legs. It would give you pretty much the ability to work as if you were just wearing boots of flying.
Well, that definitely sounds applicable.
Okay. He looks a little crestfallen and sad that his jet boots didn't work out, but he'll show you how to get that process started.
Although, I will say, may I take a closer look at these, what you call them, jet boots? I feel like
Oh
these-
yeah, check them out.
I feel like these would be faster, wouldn't they?
They could be faster, yes. So far, the speed and jerk and whatnot is not always consistent.
Would it help if you had a test subject to make your experiments quicker? Make smaller adjustments? I can take quite a beating.
I guess it would help. Yeah, I originally was trying to make these small prototypes that were for very minuscule Warforged. I felt like those jet boots were easy to work on, but unfortunately the minuscule Warforged are more fragile than ones my size. And, well, that didn't work out. Yeah, sure. Let's see where we can get with these jet boots.
make them dangerously fast. I'll have to outpace turrets. Multiple of them.
Oh, turrets, you say? Alright, I can picture this. It gives me something to work with. And so then eventually you are able to meet up with Mordenkainen as well. So if you ask him about the about Paracelsion's lair, and Mordenkainen thinks on it for a bit, and he says, "Alright, this I have heard of this Paracelsion fellow, and unfortunately the most surefire way to find his castle would be to physically seek it out. Its moving nature would make it impossible to predict where to plane shift to unless you knew where it was, but you'd probably have to go find it to know where it is to begin with. Paracelsion is going to have all sorts of powerful shadows and abjuration runes protecting Castle Blackfume. There is a spell, Find the Path. I think if you cast it at 9th level, that could reliably surpass his protections. Unfortunately, a spell of that caliber would probably be easily detected, and if you wish to go that route, you may want to try and magically mask your casting of Find the Path, if at all possible. If you don't mask that powerful spell, your location may be divined as well.
A strategy appears.
Yeah, that is about as much as I can tell. Unfortunately, to be clear, if you're hoping to mask your Find the Path, the magical mask would probably almost certainly need to be cast at the same level.
Noted.
Alright, well, I have an important meeting to get off to, and then an important date, and then another important meeting, and then an important showing with my... He looks around, hopefully soon to be betrothed. He winks at you and then walks off.
I incline my eye and then realize that I don't have eyelids and mourn the loss of winking.
The robot head just goes down a little bit.
Yeah.
Sadness. All right. So
I would imagine that I'm the test dummy and get beat to shit off of walls and explosions, helping Icarus develop these emphasis on dangerously fast jet propulsion. Like,
I'm sure
the kind that launched him into the ceiling is about the speed that I want, but controllably.
I'm sure Icarus would make great use of Indura's health regeneration. So, I think that is a good spot to end the session. There is a Roses and Thorns chat in the Discord, and before you guys hop off, this week I would like you to determine how you will take the pseudo level up to level 21.
Huh?
So, okay, I'm gonna try to post this in Discord. The formatting may be crappy.